What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. Welcome back to another On the Farm video. I do appreciate you guys clicking on episode 99. No, quick side note, real fast, guys. The 100 montage, don't forget, is next week. We will have multiple parts of montagey bits of all 100 episodes, or 99 episodes. And then at the end of the day, there will be one big spectacular episode of all of the bits. So make sure you guys tune in for that next Sunday. But in this video, guys, we are working on some Ariens lawnmower handle brackets. These are for an Ariens 21-inch lawnmower. They have used this same bracket design forever, and there's a slight problem. They tend to break. And I have broken many of these sets of handle brackets over the years, and we have come up with a solution. And the solution is to weld a piece of metal rod in there, and that stops them from breaking entirely. We've not had a problem with any of them that we have welded metal rod into. So that is exactly what this video is going to be focusing around. The first thing you have to do is burn the powder coat off, because the powder coat is so aggressive, you just can't just sand powder coat off. It's kind of a nightmare, and with all the little bends and everything, it's just easier to burn it off with the torch. Now here I'm cutting the rod that we will be welding in there, and yes, it's too long right now, but it's easier to cut it off again than it would be to add more rod. So obviously make it a little longer, and away you go. So cut off wheel on the 4.5-inch grinder, cut that rod right off. No big deal, no big deal. Next thing, guys, is to take the metal rod, clamp it at the vise, and smack her with the old hammer a few times to get it to bend in the shape that you want it to, at least the first bend. After that, then you bend it on the piece itself. And obviously this is not the first set of handle brackets that we have done. This is our second pair. And then there used to be a guy that worked for my dad that welded up quite a few other sets for us over the years. So yeah, you can see Dad's laying it right in there. We're going to clamp it down to the welding table. Now, keep in mind here, guys, that we are self-taught. I'm the one welding in this video. The most I know about welding is from watching YouTube, and there's a lot of really good resources out there on YouTube for welding. But it's more of just like a hands-on thing. You need more time with the gun in your hand to learn how to weld. So the welds that are on these eventually here in a minute, they're not pretty, but you know what? They should work just fine. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that are going to criticize them, but you know what? That's okay. I'm learning, okay? I'm a very, very new welder. I did not grow up welding. This is very new to me. So keep that in mind, guys, before you criticize it too heavily. I am a new welder and self-taught. So there is that. I'm using our Miller welder, and going to go to town welding away. Now, I don't really know if it's a good idea to film welding with a camera without like a welding helmet in front of it. I don't know. Hopefully I don't ruin the camera by filming that, because it's really bright, you know what I'm saying? That would be my only issue, would be hurting the camera. I don't want to do that, of course. But these pieces welding here, you can see this is a pretty good weld here. Meaning I'm welding for a long time. Not saying my welds are good, because they're not. They're crap, and I'm well aware of that. But they should work, guys. They should work. I need to go down there and just weld for a whole day, and, practice. Practice makes perfect. Knowing what you're doing a little bit helps, obviously, along the way. But it's all about practice. So before you criticize me too much, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Helpful pointers are welcome, though, obviously, guys. If you guys have some tips or tricks, please let me know in the comments. So now we have bent the rod kind of in shape up here on the top side of the bracket, which is actually the bottom side. That's the part that mounts the lawnmower. Anyway, Dad cut it off with the cutoff wheel, and then we smack it around a little bit more and finish welding. Basically, that's all there is to that. It's not really that big of a project. It was good to get these done. We gave away our backup set that we had down at the farm recently, so we decided to go ahead and make another pair, basically just to hang on the shelf. And yeah, so there is a lot of weld. They're ugly. I understand. So Dad sandblasted them, and we finished cleaning them up, so there, no more powder coat left or anything like that. We did end up burning it off first before we sandblasted. Powder coat, you just almost are better off to burn it off, to be honest. So, at least in our experience, we found that tends to work a little bit better. So I'm going to prime them with red primer We will be painting them black eventually because they are black on the Ariens lawnmower to begin with. So if you paint them black, then you don't notice that anything is different with them. Standing next to the lawnmower, you can't see that they're different. It looks the same, so there's that. So guys, make sure you tune in next week for the episode 100 montage spectacular. I have been working very, very hard on that, and many hours of editing are going into that. But until then, thank you guys for watching episode 99 of On the Farm. I know it's a little different, a little bit of a project video, but I do appreciate it, guys, and I will catch you next week. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit that like button for more. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And as always, toodles.